York City doesn't have the busiest subway system in the world, that title actually belongs to Tokyo. And if you've ever taken a train here, you know we don't have the prettiest subway either, but we do have one that's easy to navigate. And as long as you know what direction you're headed, you're in.
The BMT, the IRT, the IND. If you're thinking it all sounds like Greek to me, it's really quite simple. All three of those operating companies became part of the New York City subway system. Now, why is there no P train or no number 8 train? So many questions, so little time, and I've got answers.
I found them at the New York Transit Museum in downtown Brooklyn.
Subway nomenclature, which is what the numbers and letters are called, is kind of complicated and goes back to when the system was 3 separate systems. Each one of those lines, before they were unified in 1940 by the city, had their own separate naming systems for trains.
The old BMT system used numbers to order its trains, which prompted the IND system to use letters. As the MTA expanded, things changed. In 1979, the colors we see today were chosen, and in 1985, all double-lettered trains were abolished. But why are some letters and numbers not represented at all? For instance, ever wondered why there's no P train?
Never realized that there wasn't a P train or H train, but maybe we need it.
At one point, the F train, which is officially called the Culver Line, was supposed to have an extension which would be called the P. It just never happened. The I and the O were never used as designations because they're too similar to the number 1 and the number 0.
Gotcha. Any thoughts on you?
U and Y were never used because they sound like the English words you, like you are talking to me, or why are you talking to me?
It's clear even native New Yorkers aren't clear about all this.
There is no P train, there's no I train, there's no U train. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I'm so glad you told me.
They used to have an A train years ago, but it was somewhere around 2nd Avenue or lower somewhere. This is a long time ago.
The moral to this story, there really is a method to the madness.
A message to the madness. It's unbelievable. So I marked it down. IOUPH.
Yes, you do. So give it to me right now. I
So
want
we
it.
don't have those trains, but wait a minute. You were telling me there's also no X train.
There is no X train to you and I,
Okay.
but there is an X train internally in the MTA, and it's actually lines that are under construction. They'll label them X.
That's an internal
So
thing.
That is an internal thing. But I
Okay.
learned other facts.
Yeah, tell me about this
Okay.
stuff. Go ahead.
So I asked the woman that I interviewed, who was sort of like a subway historian, you know,
Right.
tell me something I don't know, because I'm a native New Yorker and I love that kind of thing. And she said, well, the numbered trains and the lettered trains are 2 different sizes. So 1, 2, 3, those trains are narrower. 4, 5, 6,
Narrower.
they're more narrow.
Okay.
They can fit less people in them.
Right.
And A, B, C, D, E, F, those trains are wider, and that's because the tunnels are different. And the tunnels are different because when those separate
Fascinating
companies
stuff.
each had their trains,
Yeah.
they went into different sized tunnels.
So, Crystal, okay, so, but it all started out with all these different companies, right?
Yes,
and
it
then
did.
they finally blended. That's what created some of this.
You got it. The IRT, the BMT, the IND were all separate companies, and when the MTA took over and made them one, they had to find a way to make sense of all of that. But that's why if you ever go to Times Square and you want to transfer from the F to, let's say, a numbered train, it feels like you're walking for 6 months, like you're going to pop out in Newark.
Yeah.
And that's because those were all separate subway tunnels owned by separate
Amazing.
companies, and they just kind of got combined.
This was all good information.
Thank
People
you.
out there are saying, I didn't know that. I didn't know
There
that.
you go. You'll
Thank
be
you for sharing it with us.
very good at a dinner party now.
All
you know?
aboard.
There.
Thank you, Crystal.
You're welcome.